while she's still looking back.
The FX5 is here, Sony's answer to the open gate critics. To those who wanted internal RAW, a bigger screen, 3 base ISO, false color timecode, and guess what? They even kept IBIS. Add 240 frames per second in 4K and you're sitting with a new industry leader. I had the wonderful opportunity to be part of the launch promo for Sony. In this video, I'm going to take you behind the scenes and share my first impressions of working with the camera. This is truly a 2020 moment. The year Sony leapfrogged everyone with the a7S III, followed by the FX3 in the next. Cameras that still hold up amazingly well even 6 years later. At first glance, the FX5 resembles the body of the FX3, and depending from which angle you look at, you might even miss it. Things quickly change when you switch the camera on. The menu system has been upgraded to the likes of Burano and Venice. You've got a ton of options when it comes to codecs, resolutions and frame rates, but 5K 16-bit internal RAW takes front row seat. Before I ramble too much about specs, I want to take a moment and talk about the short film. First of all, I only played a part in this, and it's definitely a group effort, so I want to give proper credit to everyone involved. Big ups to Jan Eveneisen and the Brandmall team. Jan is the mastermind behind the concept, and he directed and edited the film.
I edited it. You edited it. I edited it.
Given our limited time frame, we decided to split the scenes between 3 DPs, consisting of me, Jan and Sunel Haasbroek. Sunel is a SAFTA award-winning cinematographer with a list of incredible achievements, and I consider it a great honor to share this creative space with her. I was also asked to do the color grade, and the raw XOCN files handle amazingly well in Resolve. Performance is fast and responsive, and the flexibility is mind-blowing. Between the 3 of us, we also used different lenses. I shot on the Cooke SP3s, Sunel on the Nisi Athenas, and Ian with native Sony lenses. A little magic in post and you'd never be able to tell. None of my Sony cages fit the FX5, so I ended up mounting the monitor and side handle directly to the camera. Not exactly the most comfortable rig, but still really grateful for those mounting threads. Now you would think that open gate would be the first thing that I tried out, but I've already given my opinion on this a long time ago. It's just not something I personally have a big need for, and there were other features that made me more excited. So I'm just going to highlight a few of my favorites. The built-in monitor tools have been upgraded, and we finally have waveform, vector scope, and my favorite, false color. Now I know a lot of external monitors can also do this, but there were quite a few scenes where I didn't use a monitor due to time constraints. For example, on the gimbal driving shots, we ran out of light quicker than anticipated, and here the enlarged display really came in handy. Same for the scenes inside the car. The logistics of getting the car loaded onto a flatbed and turning around ended up taking twice as long, so we only had a few moments to get the shots we needed, and I made the call to go freehand without a rig. In a scenario like this, being able to quickly check exposure with false color and better manual focus with peaking on the biggest screen makes it much more attractive. The screen is 3.5 inches and offers the same 4-axis multi-rotation found in the a7 IV and the a7R6. Similar to Venice and Burano, the on-screen display puts visuals first by confining all info to a black frame around the image, keeping the main view completely free from distractions. Unlike the FX3 and Alpha cameras, you can mirror info display to the HDMI while keeping the camera display live. This means you can still use the touchscreen on the camera. The entire menu system can be navigated this way, but if you want to, you still have a multifunctional dial at the top. This dial works similar to the ones on the FX6 and Burano, and it replaces the dial on the back to make more space for the bigger screen. You also have the option to send the feed to the HDMI while camera display permanently stays on the home page. This gives you or your first AC quick access to all the important settings. I also used the camera on a food shoot, but at the time of filming, the firmware has not been updated to include 240 frames per second in 4K, but 120 frames per second in 5K uncropped is pretty fantastic. I love that you have the ability to completely turn off in-camera noise reduction. This is really helpful if you want to shoot in the second and third base ISO without affecting image quality like the FX3 and a7S III. The 3 base ISO clocks in at 800, 4000 and 12800. The camera also has a dual gain function that boosts performance in the shadows, less noise and more detail, but this only works in ISO 800, which is what I shoot in most of the time anyway. If you want to learn more about how I color grade, check out the link in the description below. Now at the time of making this video, I still had no idea what this camera would cost, but I assume it will be somewhere between FX3 and FX6. Prior to this announcement, I've heard a lot of Sony users complain about other brands offering more for less. But if you do a deep dive, the FX5 comes out the clear winner, even if it comes at a premium. It's a do-it-all, works for everyone kind of cinema camera, and I don't think you will find a better option in a better ecosystem.